Boxing Truth here. It's immediate reaction to Billy Joe Saunders' masterclass of David Lemieux. That was a one-sided boxing lesson. That's what you call easy work. Billy Joe Saunders just sent a statement to the middleweight division, and Boxing Truth was actually impressed. That was Billy Joe Saunders' best performance of his whole career. And he delivered on this occasion, on the most important occasion, being on HBO, getting some good needed exposure, and he really just brought out the question about him in the middleweight division. Is he good enough? Is he at least formidable enough to challenge the top two in the middleweight division? Could he actually beat those guys? He may have answered some questions tonight. There's going to be a lot of fans hopping on the bandwagon now, impressed with Saunders' performance. You're going to see a couple of Saunders fanboys say that he can school Triple G. But let me tell you something. I give Saunders a chance in that fight. I give him a shot. He's a tricky fighter. When he's at his best, he is not an easy guy to fight. He has a bad style to look good against, to be effective against. Give me David Lemieux style every day, all day, every day over Billy Joe Saunders style. I'd rather deal with David Lemieux style than have to deal with Billy Joe. And it was an excellent display of boxing skills by Billy Joe Saunders. Schooled David Lemieux, gave him a lesson on range and distance, kept fighting at a certain range, stepping out of the danger zone when he threw his shots. Good footwork, good speed, very good crisp counters, and a really authoritative jab in some instances in that fight. I mean, he was schooling him, then toying with him, embarrassing him, and then was starting to whoop David Lemieux's ass in some of those rounds. Embarrassing defeat for David Lemieux, getting schooled in his own backyard, in front of all his fans, his family. It was a terrible performance. He just doesn't have that skill set, doesn't have the technical abilities to cut the ring, doesn't have a good jab. You need a good jab to beat Billy Joe Saunders. If you don't have a jab, it's going to be a difficult night. And the same thing occurred for David Lemieux. Steps up another level. He loses every second of every round. I'm not sure David won one round in this fight. Maybe could have given him the last round since Billy Joe ran too much in that round. But overall, very good performance. I was impressed. I think Saunders is definitely world class. He's proven his legitimacy tonight with this mandatory defense. Made easy work of David Lemieux. His performance was just as good as Golovkin. Golovkin was able to stop him. Saunders made it humiliated Lemieux when it came to the overall boxing lesson. But it was he passed the test, and he gave a good account of himself when it comes to comparisons of the performance between Golovkin and Saunders. Saunders showed that he's on another level against Lemieux. If he keeps at this rate, if he keeps focused, keeps being active in the gym, he could be a major problem in the middleweight division. I mean, judging from this performance, like, you can throw that Akavov performance in the garbage because that's not Billy Joe Saunders. And Billy Joe proved it tonight that fight was an off night. Wasn't him, wasn't his best performance. It happens in boxing. But now you see the true abilities of Billy Joe Saunders. He proved it on this night with this boxing lesson he just displayed in front of the boxing world. I'm sure some fans are shocked about what Billy Joe just did tonight. Schooled what many considered a guy who was a top contender, former champion, that some even picked to knock out Billy Joe Saunders. So props to Billy Joe for the performance. He legitimized his claim as world champion. He is a true WBO king. Yeah, let me know what y'all thought about the fight. This is Boxing Truth. I'm out.